Goddamn.
Well, goddamn, goddamn is right. And man, the episode is here. We are we have finally made it. It is episode 300 of NHP as we are here for another edition of the news on January 9th, 2026. Just the second episode of NHP for the news this year, and it is episode 300. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. It was crazy working on the episode. The process of the process of coming to this whole episode has been a journey. So and the journey doesn't end because we also have a very important show tomorrow as well. If you guys, have not been able to get your votes in for the year-end awards, then voting is still open as we speak, man. So, man, crazy. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. I can't believe it felt like just yesterday we were back in October talking about episode 300 and how it was all the way in January. Um, and time really flew by because we're already here, man. So it's episode 300. I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. Not that I obviously didn't think we were gonna make it to 300, but speaking of,
Doesn't feel real.
I was gonna say no, 100%. And speaking of feeling like yesterday, um, it feels like just yesterday we were I was back at the old house and it was some WWE 2K footage playing and we were still trying to, I guess, figure this whole thing out, man. So and in a lot of ways we are still trying to figure this whole thing out, but it was a lot worse back
Oh,
then. It was a lot it was a lot worse back then. The vision was definitely not had not come together yet, to say the very least. But crazy though, man. 300 episodes in, and man, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Like I said, it feels like just yesterday. It was episode 1, right? Um,
telling you.
Infamously forgot to fucking turn the game volume off, and you could just hear fucking Call of Duty gameplay blasting over us talking. So it really is crazy, man. It really is crazy, and can't believe we made it, dude.
Exactly, man. It's a wild, just progress and journey, man. From then to 300, start off with Call of Duty gameplay, then 2K gameplay. And funny enough, 2K gameplay was probably actually worse because that game would always crash and it would crash the entire stream every time. So actually a good game ran like shit, dude. The best part is we weren't even playing at that point. We were just simming
Yep.
matches in the background, and it would just crash. Like, oh, that game was horrible, man. Like looking at all the different backgrounds we've had in our respective areas throughout the years, and the change in that, and change in camera quality and sound quality. It is, man. 300 doesn't feel real. Like you said, we were just talking about that a few months ago. Almost kind of at episode 300, but a few months away. And a few months came and they went, and they're here, dude. And we're at episode 300, dude. It's fucking wild. Doesn't feel real. But I'm glad it is real.
Man,
Speaking of running shit.
that was why we had to stop running 2K20, was because the game was just absolutely abysmal. It was fucking terrible. And yeah, we would literally just sim matches and the game would just crash. The game would literally just crash. So gotta love 2K20. We went over to streaming 2K19 instead, which was a little bit better. But man, it really is it really is crazy, man. I think there's a lot to be said um about the I guess just determination of both of us, man. We've always said from the very beginning, like what is gonna make a wrestling podcast stand out, and I feel like the first thing out of both of our mouths was the consistency of it, because everybody these days it seems has like a wrestling podcast, whether it's a legend or just everybody, damn near it seems has one nowadays, man. But uh one thing, again, that we always spoke on was consistency, and I'm glad that we had those conversations, and we backed it up, bro. We're sitting here 300 episodes after that conversation, and we're still here, man. We're still doing our thing, and I think a lot should be said about that. I don't think a lot of people, to give us a pat on the back, I don't think a lot of people would have stuck around. I don't think a lot of people would have stuck around, whether it was, they weren't seeing their results or they get bored or whatever the case for wanting to wrap it up is. I don't think, I don't think a lot of people would still be sitting here, and I'm very proud of this, and I'm very proud of everything that we've been able to build here. Whether it's you guys, man, who join us, or whether it's just the growth, the growth of a creator, I guess, that comes along from this whole thing. No matter what it is, I'm very proud. I'm very, very, very proud, man. Very proud.
Oh, very proud, man. I'm very glad we could be here. Very glad we are here, and I'm very glad for the next milestone, the next number. It's gonna be dope. I can't wait.
It really is, man. It really is. There's been so much, there's been so much joy that this podcast has brought me, man. Whether I mean, hell, recently, there's been a lot of joy and a lot of there's been a lot of I don't think, in terms of what we've had to do here, I don't think I've ever been tested as hard as I have been within like the past week, in terms of trying to get year-end awards together, and being, I mean, you guys know, I bet your boy's been under the weather. It has been tough, man, but through all that, through all that kind of shit, it really does bring a lot of joy. Just being able to see, uh again, like I just talked about, like our dedication for this, and just the will to make it happen, man, for this show. It really goes to show how much this shit means. And not that I ever forget, but it really does remind me how much this does mean to me. And man, it's just it's so dope to see. It's so dope to see, man. And it's um man, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. 300 is finally here, bro. Man. Um so, and like you spoke on though, like you spoke on a little bit though, man, I am excited to see what the next milestone brings, and the next big number, or the next big show, or whatever it is. I'm excited for it, and obviously I'm gonna be here for it, man. So super dope, bro. Super dope. But can't believe it, man. Episode 300 is finally here. How are you guys doing? Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today for another edition of NHP. And your episode here of Notorious Heels 300, man. How are you guys doing? Thank you guys for joining us. If it's your first time watching, guys, do not know the show works every single Tuesday at 12 p.m. Central. We are on here with Unscripted, and every Friday, normally at 3 p.m. Central, we are on here with the news. I also want to thank you guys. There's been 2 schedule changes. There's been a little bit to come up. So I do apologize for the last minute change, but obviously today had to be moved up to 1 p.m. Central, and tomorrow's year-end awards also had to be moved up to 1 p.m. Central. So I appreciate you guys for the flexibility, man. I appreciate you guys for understanding. So yes, once again, I appreciate it. And yeah, with that, if you guys did miss this past Tuesday's edition of Unscripted, that is available for you guys on all platforms. That is Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And if you want to stay first, join us right here live every Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Central for Unscripted. Also, not just yet, but yes, also not the typical thing, but tomorrow, Saturday, January 10th, 2026, ladies and gentlemen, like I just mentioned, 1 p.m. Central, we will be live with the annual Notorious Heels year-end award show. Man, we'll be going over winners for my vote, Sir K's vote, and the winner of the fan vote, man. You guys, please keep getting them votes in, man. We'd love to see them coming in. And tomorrow, we will be announcing your guys' winners as to who accumulated the most votes for each category, man. So again, if you guys have not got a chance to get your votes in or get your votes in to participate in the winner of the fan vote, and you guys can now do that. The link is at the top of the description of this very video, man. You guys can go tap in with the link over there. And like I said, man, get your votes in. And tomorrow we will see if whoever you guys chose won the vote, man. So, like I said, man, we got year-end awards tomorrow. Very excited for that. Very, very excited for that. I'm excited to see who you guys went with for your winners, and excited to see who wins the winner of the fan vote. And yeah, very excited to share our winners with you guys as well, man. So,
Definitely.
let's see. We got manager Logan in the house. As Duranto is asked, I am good. Fam is good. What about you, Durante, Logan, Bell, Gotti? Manager Logan says 1 p.m. is perfect. Right before the wild card weekend opener. What is the wild card weekend opener? I'm interested in.
Assuming it's football.
Oh no.
Extensive.
It definitely is. It definitely is. I'm interested to know who's playing, because the playoffs do look pretty interesting this year. I think the Bears have the Packers in the opening round. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's funny.
So that should be very interesting for Chicago, depending on how that goes. But we will see.
It is
But
the playoffs. See, I knew that.
did you?
I did, you know.
So who's playing, Sir K?
Or want to see who's approved Johnny, who's playing Rams and Rams versus the Panthers. You know, see, football.
Packers
Fucking
and
the
Bears are
sodas up here, buddy.
tomorrow. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got. You didn't know.
People will for sure be seated for that. I already know.
Oh, you know it.
So, before we get started with anything here today for the year-end or for the news, episode 300, my bad. We have guys okay. All right. Okay. I think I don't know why it's doing this. Okay. All right. I think we've gotten the show back out on the road. It was, I don't know, it was a little too spotty for my liking. So
I get you.
all right. So it's been in the works for a while, and we are very, very, very excited to bring to you guys a huge announcement here. As ever since we did the rebrand, there has been multiple multiple requests for some new NHP merchandise. And it is with my great, great pleasure that we are here to announce the newest piece of merchandise here at NHP. We have partnered with our guy yet again over at Stickers 13 Studios, and he has handcrafted a beautiful piece. Another beautiful piece. First of all, another beautiful image for you guys. Another beautiful logo. This is number 4 now. And he has crafted a beautiful new piece of Notorious Heels merchandise. As you can see on your screen, in case you were wondering why Sir K kept saying you do not want to sleep on this episode, it is, for your boys, the hardest slept on in the IWC. We have Notorious Heels slept on since 2020 design, as man, yet again, my man over at Stickers 13 Studios has came in clutch yet again, and my man has worked his magic and delivered another beautiful piece of merchandise, as this is available now as we speak, live on the merch shop for you guys, man. So again, link is at the top of the description of this very video. You can find the link in all of our socials, but the slept on design is finally here. This is something that has been in the works for a long time, and it is finally here. So again, we want to shout out my brother over at Stickers 13 Studios, man. It's a pleasure working with you. Every time you give us one of these logos, you completely knock it out of the park. And man, I'm super stoked to be able to work with you again and to continue to work with you in the future. And I hope you guys do enjoy the shirt, man, because this is straight fucking fire, bro. I love it. And again, shout out to Stickers 13 Studios.
Truly, always shout out to Stickers 13 Studios for always working with us to create just the best visuals we could possibly create, from the logo to the year-end awards logo to this new shirt. Man, I'm very excited. Shirt, man. I mean, since 2020, truly is more than just a shirt, but it is a shirt. And it's fire. I love the feel, and it's so dope. I'm so glad we can have stuff like this, man. Truly.
Absolutely, man. So again, shouts out to my guy over there. Always a pleasure working with you, man. And thank you truly yet again for bringing the vision of NHP to life in the very best way possible, man. So this shirt is available for you guys. This is the newest piece of merchandise here at NHP. You guys can now cop this on bonfire.com, as you guys know. It's available in hoodies, long sleeves, short sleeves. We got some youth sizes there, tank tops, whatever you guys want, man. Whatever you guys want is available for you guys live on the merch shop as we speak, man. So that is the newest piece of NHP merchandise. As maybe it's about time they stop sleeping on us, man. Maybe, I don't know. But if they do still want to, now at least we got the shirt to go along with it.
Truly we do, man. Truly we do. We got the shirt to match. Fact that we're slept on, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So there it is. That is absolutely fucking beautiful, man. That is absolutely beautiful. So shouts out to my guy. My man's came through again, bro. So
It really did.
I think that is everything announcement wise we got for episode 300 here. And we also obviously we got some news to go over here with you guys, man, as uh you know, we have some very confusing pieces of news here today, as we're going to start you guys off with a piece of news that you see in the thumbnail. It's kind of old at this point. Well, think we should go over the Ciampa stuff, or do you think we should go AEW first?
There's a few AEW stories first.
Yeah, we might as well.
There's only 4 of them.
There's not many, per usual. But AEW, we got some AEW stories here today, man. As coming out of Dynamite, AEW has made 2 new signees. As we got the photo here, AEW has made 2 new signings, as one of them is a very familiar face. And go figure, what does Tony Khan go and do after bringing back Andrade? This guy signs Jake Doyle, formerly Jake something of the Indies, and he fucking put him in the Don Callis family as well.
Oh, Tony Khan. Never fails. This guy just never ends. First of all, Andrade might be the person, and so is TK. How are you gonna play it off as like a random surprise, quote unquote, return when we already saw this exact same thing with him 3 months ago? We knew he's in the Don Callis family. I don't see why the whole reveal was necessary, but they went and did that same exact thing again 3 months later. And Jake something is now not something because his name is Jake Doyle and he is in the Don Callis family. That is hilarious.
Jake Doyle. So
Doyle.
I do get the name change. I do. Honestly, for me, that's not even the worst part, as I feel like by default, the worst part is the fact that this guy got put in the Don Callis family. Obviously, he is formerly Jake something on the Indies, and I've actually seen him before a couple years ago. He was working in indie here in Chicago, and I did see him, man. But dude, what the fuck is Tony's obsession with putting people in the Don Callis family? I mean, dude, do you actually want half of your roster in this group? I mean, at this point, I feel like the only answer is yes, but like, bro, what the fuck, Tony? Why? Obviously we knew Andrade was in the group for some reason. He's in the Don Callis family. Even though before he left, he technically had a group in the La Faction, but so he brings him back with the Don Callis family again. Like Sir K said, does the exact same return, and then they add Jake Doyle as some mercenary in the group, and he's like boys, or like he's like mercenary buddies with Mark Davis. What the fuck? So I'm lost. I'm fucking lost. I don't know what the obsession with adding everybody to the Don Callis family is, but Jake Doyle is the newest member of the Don Callis family.
What the hell, man? Tony Khan, he's a funny man. He really is. and he only got funnier, man. Jake Doyle isn't Don. Literally, he knows that's what like killed NWO and Bullet Club, right? It is just adding too many members. And he's been did that with the Don Callis family. So horrible group, man. Horrible.
Yeah, well, I mean, thankfully the Don Callis family isn't the Bullet Club or the or, or
Specialized
the
though.
or the or the NWO, but
Yeah,
um
yeah,
it
special, but
it's not going to kill the company, but it'll definitely kill the group. I get what you're saying. But
exactly it kills the group and the company, possibly.
yeah, I mean the group the group itself, I mean this group absolutely stands no chance, man. What an absolute joke. And the worst part about this whole thing, their fan base loves this fucking group. They love them.
They love it. They mark out every time they fucking add a new member, man. Because they fucking love anything Tony does.
Well, hopefully they love Jake Doyle. Well, speaking of somebody I love, Switchblade Jay White. According to Fightful, Switchblade is reportedly not cleared to make an in-ring return for AEW despite making an appearance at New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom. White has been out of action since April of 2025, and his injury was worse than originally believed. And during his time off, he also underwent shoulder surgery. I feel Jay White will be back soon. Obviously, him making an appearance at Wrestle Kingdom, everybody went out for Tanahashi, and shout out Hiroshi Tanahashi, by the way. But everybody went out for the Aces final match, bro. So, I mean, that really, I don't even know why that sparked return rumors. I mean, Will Ospreay was there, and he's still a ways away from returning as well, man. But this didn't really again, this I didn't really see it as him making a return, man. But the fact that he was there again, I mean, that's like John Cena retiring. You know what I mean, for New Japan. I mean,
Yeah.
Hiroshi Tanahashi's a huge name over there. He's obviously helped a lot of guys, and a lot of guys went out to celebrate the man's final match, bro. But I feel like Jay White will be back soon enough. Obviously, I don't think he's coming back, you know, on Wednesday or anything. But I still don't think he's too far off from coming back. I feel like it will be within the next 4 months.
I think so, man. I think so. And his appearance at Wrestle Team at Wrestle Kingdom is very obvious. Everyone's gonna show up for the retirement, man. And he even got unbanned wise from New Japan for that moment. So they got that whole storyline of why he left. But yeah, and reading the story, it's actually very nice to see that while he's out, he decided to take the extra time to also get his shoulder worked on. Got surgery for that, and he's taken the time to heal up. It's something I wish more people actually did, is take the time to heal up.
100%. Because look at with how long Switch has been out, almost a year. Look at the anticipation that comes with damn near every AEW pay-per-view at this point. Is Switchblade going to return tonight? Because people miss him. Now, could he have absolutely said, "Oh, I got a broken hand. What's the recovery time on this?" And they tell him, 3-4 months. He's back in 3 to 4 months doing fuck all. But he took the extra time, fixed other things that were, hurt or bugging him or whatever the case. And now look at, he's out longer, but people miss him, and it allows anticipation for his, eventual return, which I think is great, man. I think it's a smart move, like Sir K said, man. Get shit fixed, because again, it prolongs your career, it helps your health, and it builds anticipation for a great return, which, again, people have been anticipating this guy coming back since, like, Wrestle Dream. You know what I mean? And he's still gone, so the anticipation for his eventual return only continues to build.
No, exactly, man. Exactly.
So, speaking of more AEW news, man, we actually have AEW departures. We have 3 names, according to Fightful, that have all recently departed from AEW after their contracts expired. The first one of which being Mercedes Martinez. The second one,
She was employed.
me too, dude. I really did. The second one being the, I guess, formerly Undisputed Kingdom's Matt Taven. I'll still never forgive him for that 2019 MSG show. However, remember when we wanted
Matt Taven.
Marty Scurll to win that ladder match and it was his ass?
Oh my god, it was Matt Taven.
Yes.
Fucking Matt. Okay. Um, yeah, now that I remember it. Yeah, goodbye.
I'll still never forgive him for that, but whatever. And the last name is Alex Abrahantes. When I fucking tell you guys, I used to pray for this day.
I used to.
I genuinely used to, man. Okay, so first of all, do any of these names, really hurt you? Do you feel like any of these names were a missed opportunity by AEW? And are you, rather relieved by any of these?
Only one I could have been at some point, probably Mercedes Martinez, but that was probably 3 years ago. But I think around the time she first went to the company league, I genuinely forgot about her. Unfortunately, due to AEW being AEW, and hope she does well somewhere else. Maybe her go more like MMA style wrestling places or something, like Bloodsport or something, whatever. Um, who was the middle one? Who was the second person
Matt Taven.
that left? Oh, Matt Taven. Matt Taven. Yeah, I didn't care for Matt Taven. I didn't care for the Kingdom in itself, to be honest. Did. So that one really doesn't hurt. And one I'm actually very happy about is Alex Overhunties, man. I mean, this dude has been a plague on any Mexican wrestler within the confines of AEW for the past 7 years. And that plague is gone. He killed all their aura, and thankfully he is gone. So luchadors can actually be cool in AEW for once, man. I actually love that.
Man, that. When I tell you. Okay, well, first of all, let's start off. Mercedes Martinez is a name that does definitely kind of suck because she announced earlier or late last year that 2026 was going to be her last year as an in-ring competitor. So now she's donezo. So, at least in AEW. So I don't know. I don't know if she's going to go back to WWE to uh, do out the rest of her career or just spend the rest of her career out on the indies. That remains to be seen. That one definitely does suck. As for Matt Taven, I was never a big Matt Taven guy. I was never big on the Kingdom. I was never big on the Undisputed Kingdom. I always thought they were the less interesting of Adam Cole groups that they could put him with, as obviously Tony Khan had the Undisputed Era staring him right in the face, but couldn't figure his shit out with Bobby Fish to make that work. And it obviously didn't end up working, so they did the whole Undisputed Kingdom thing. I never really liked it. I found Matt Taven and Mike Bennett very just bland. They were very bland. I never knew who they were. They were just two fucking guys. That was who they were. And then for the last moron, Alex Abrahantes, um he was fucking terrible. Anybody who actually thought he was a good manager, I truly don't know what to tell you. He was robotic. He was cringy. He was a fucking corny fuck. He sucked. He absolutely fucking sucked. They put him with Penta, and he used to do his whole Penta says, uh, and then there was that point with Penta where Penta was Penta Oscuro or Oscura, and he used to dress up in like this black cloak like he was fucking Palpatine, and or like he was fucking Valak from fucking Conjuring 2, and just the corniest fuck you could possibly fucking imagine. He was with the Lucha Bros completely. I remember he used to wear that jacket that said the hype man on the back. Oh god, he was fucking terrible, dude. He was so fucking ass. Um Again, killed all their aura. You had these two just goated fucking luchadors that are just being badass, and then you got their little brother behind him, just completely fucking the whole thing up for him. He would just be behind him jumping around like a fucking idiot. He was terrible, man. I fucking hated him. I thought he completely killed their act. And I thought he sucked. And the way he ran out there like this motherfucker was like the third man in the fucking group. Oh my god, he was fucking horrible, man. And then Tony Khan had the fucking bright idea of making him like some universal manager for all luchadors that were babyface. And he just further killed um damn near every other luchador on the roster. Um to be honest, man, I think this is a win for AEW. I don't think he brought anything to the table, and in fact, I think he did worse for anybody that he managed.
He made him look worse. He like tried to steal the moment half the time, but he was a fucking loser. So it just came off. They came off worse. He was horrible, man. He was horrible. I'm very glad he left.
Me too. Me too. So with that, we got ah, we have AEW's newest trademark. Have you heard this one?
See this? I'm very. I read AEW trademark. Didn't see anything. I'm very scared. Is it a Tony Khan trademark? Can you tell
Oh yeah.
by just the name of it? Oh
Oh yeah.
God. Oh no. No, I didn't hear it at all. I'm very excited for this actually.
So according to the US Trademark Office, AEW AEW has filed for the trademark Exile on Pain Street.
What does that mean? Exile on Pain Street?
That's right.
What does it mean? Wait, so you get exiled so is that like a loser leaves stipulation or thing? Eh,
I
Is
figured maybe this would be like the name of a dynamite, like Dynamite Exile on Pain Street. Something
but
like
like,
that,
what is that?
maybe.
Yeah, but I definitely see the theme episode of Dynamite, but like again, what is the theme of if it's exile on Pain Street? Pain Street is generic, hilariously fucking hilarious. But I get that. That's probably gonna be, bunch of like hardcore matches or whatever for their show, but like Exile. So who's leaving? Is it like you Exile? You get booted out of a place. So you're gonna be so violent they're gonna get booted out the fucking city, or oh god, that's probably what it is too. That is gonna be
Exile,
hilariously bad.
Exile on Pain Street. Tony, what the fuck? What are you cooking? I will
Dude,
say though,
you
all this
can't.
made me think about was that fucking one video of Kanye West where the fucking chick's talking over him, and he's like, "Shut up before you get exiled." I-
You can't exile. Fucking Kanye, dude. Ain't nothing
what,
better than old Kanye clips.
dude? It's really not. What the fuck
You're
is
my
this?
friend.
What is this name, Tony? What is this?
Like,
Tony Khan cannot for the life of him come up with an original name to save his life. They are always the most
it's
corny.
good.
They are always the most corny names you will ever find. Ever.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Collision, Age, Wrestle Dream, World End, Dynasty. Dude, it's just the worst every time, dude. And like, dude, you can't. This dude is too childish to name shit. This is the most fucking middle school names for shit, dude. You know what I mean? These are horrible. They're funny. They're like funny bad, but like,
Man.
dude, what Exile on Pain Street? It's what a fucking Disney Channel bully says to says to the fucking main character. I'm gonna exile you from Pain Street as he fucking beats him up. Like, dude, come on.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like that's something a Disney Channel bully would say. And then afterwards, he, when he finally likes the kid that he was bullying, he makes that Swerve Strickland face, man. So maybe Tony's onto something here. But it remains to be seen who's going to be exiled on Pain Street. But that is the latest trademark that AEW has put in for, man. So yeah, we will. Like I said, we'll have to wait and see who ends up being exiled on Pain Street in AEW. So, let's see what else do we got here. Uh, well, the last thing I guess kind of moves us into the WWE stories as Will Hobbs, Powerhouse Hobbs,
Saw this.
is oh, where did it go? According to Uncle Dave, people within WWE are reportedly very high on Powerhouse Hobbs. What do you make of this? Do you think they will eventually end up getting their hands on Will Hobbs? And would you be excited to see Hobbs make the jump over to WWE if that's the case?
Think, and I've seen people say this, even AEW fans. I think he might be more of a WWE style guy, and I think that might be good for him. The problem that sucks about that is, there's a lot of big guys over and in WWE right now. The whole big tough guy thing. WWE has a decent amount of those guys, and AEW doesn't have many, but AEW doesn't know how to book those type of guys. So it's really a tough spot if you're a guy like Hobbs, because AEW, they don't have many, but they're not good at booking them. WWE has a lot, and they could book them pretty good, when they're actually using their fucking brain. Um, but they have a lot, on each main show,
Oh yeah.
so it's kind of a difficult like situation of balance in between that. I think if Tony Khan knew how to book big guys, I would say stay in AEW. And I think overall he is safe in AEW. I don't think he's gonna not be used, but I don't think he's gonna be truly used in AEW, if you get it. And I like Hobbs. I think he's good. And I think having that WWE just seasoning on him can really make it even better. So I think it might overall to go there even just for a stint. Um, but I like that idea, and I'm sure that's a random ass like just them being high on somebody that isn't in the company, and I think he would do really good over there. It would just be the whole of where would you put him, and how does he fit on the same roster as a Jacob Fatu and Obafemi, Braun Breaker, all those guys. That's the problem with WWE for me. But what about you?
So I think with Will Hobbs, it's well, first of all, I think you nailed it right on the head. Um, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place because on one hand, you're in a company who can't book a big guy for shit. And on the other hand, you're looking at the company who has too many of them. Or maybe not too many of them, but probably not enough to make to the point where you stand out. Like I love Will Hobbs, but I think if you look at like WWE's big guys, they're all better than Will Hobbs. Personally, I feel that way.
Yeah.
If you look at like you know Bronson, Jacob, Oba, all these guys are better than Will Hobbs at least. The only one he might be, better than is like fucking JC Mateo and fucking Hikaleo. But
That ain't hard. It's a deep
no, not
competition
at
right
all.
there.
Yeah, not at all. But you got like hypothetically speaking, if Will Hobbs' contract was up today and he was free to walk tomorrow, with whatever they got going on in NXT, I think he would be good down there. Obviously there would be stuff for him to do. You would obviously, Ricky is down there, so there's that. And then, Oba just left. So, they don't really have, that gap for like a big, powerhouse kind of guy. But at the end of the day, what happens when that's up? You know what I mean? What happens when his time in NXT is up? I mean, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna keep him down there? Is he gonna be the next super senior, or are you gonna call him up into a sea of guys that are all better than him? So, but regardless, I do think that I do think a little performance center would be good for Will Hobbs. Not that he's bad in the ring or anything, but you know it's just nice for some of those guys to have. And I think he would be one to really benefit from that, as I feel like WWE could really help him and maybe help just season him out a little bit more. Um Again, once he hits the main roster, there is that fear that they're gonna fucking Hikaleo you and just completely dumb down your fucking style. So hopefully that wouldn't happen, but I think Will Hobbs would be a good fit in WWE. I think it's just timing. You know what I mean? I think, he would maybe have to wait for, some of these other bigger guys to kind of, you know, run the course first. So, but overall, I mean,
Exactly.
it is nice to hear. It is nice to hear. I'm waiting to hear a story that WWE's big on Wardlow because for the love of God,
Yeah,
he's the fucking guy we need to get the fuck out of Dodge in AEW. So,
he really is. It's gonna be tough for Wardlow though. If they have much injuries back to back, it's always bad in the long run, dude. So that sucks and concerning for Wardlow. Um, but for Powerhouse Hobbs, it is good to hear, and I think he is very good. And he has character, he has charisma. We were able to see it for a little bit with the Book of Hobbs stuff, and it was just AEW not continuing that stuff.
yeah.
And if I was AEW here in this story, I would lock in a little bit. I would let you see more Will Hobbs' personality more, and maybe I like the ops. You know, maybe Hurt Syndicate might be a good place for Will Hobbs to get a little more shine, a little more rub. Um, but just show him off a little more. I think that's what AEW should do, and I think Tony should look at the story and kind of focus and kind of look at him a little more.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully, will Tony do that? Maybe.
No, he won't.
Maybe in like 3
Maybe.
years when he finally figures that he doesn't want to really continue on with the ops anymore. But it's one of those things. Hobbs and the Hurt Syndicate is one of those things. It's so much of a no brainer. I think that's why they don't want to do it because it's so
On the
obvious.
nose, maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit. I personally wouldn't mind it at all. I think he would be great in the Hurt Syndicate. I think he would fit the suit look. And obviously
Mhm.
the Hurt Syndicate, all the fucking guys in there are fucking yoked. Then obviously Will Hobbs fits that bill. I do think he's good in the ops, but the ops isn't, they're just not really that much of a significant act. They are, but they aren't,
Yeah.
if that makes
No,
sense.
100%. Somehow their leader was world champ and like they weren't significant at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is funny because like in early AEW Hobbs when Hobbs was in, I was gonna say the Taz family. Like God, my brain is rotted. Team Taz and felt like one of the major groups in AEW, and I
hmm
wish they would kind of give the ops that same, Taz, Team Taz treatment. I think that would really help all of them in that group individually.
Yeah.
Fucking
I think.
Taz family. Fucking
I,
rotted my brain, dude. God damn it,
fucking Don
Tony.
Callis family fucked everybody up, man. Um, I think so. I think so, and like you said, I wish that they would have the ops, feel like more of a, you know, I guess premiere act. But yeah, it kind of just feels a lot of times it kind of just gives off that like Samoa Joe and Friends kind of vibe, you know. It kind of, we used to make the joke all those years ago when they did the 28th fucking Shield reunion, but we used to call it Roman Friends, and a lot of times that's what the ops can feel like. It kind of can just feel like Samoa Joe and Friends, and the other guys kind of just feel like background players. But hopefully they can get it together. Again, it's not even that they're really doing bad with Will Hobbs. It's just
They
when
don't
you
do much of anything.
and when you hear stories like WWE's creeping up on somebody, man, hopefully that means they can get their act together with them and really start using the guy.
No, I really hope so.
So we have we got, let's see, for AEW. So what do you, that was quick. I'm trying to look
Dude,
around. I'm trying to look and see if there's any more, but there's not. With that
hey,
being
I think you
said,
wrote Exile and Trademark
I
twice.
did.
I guess
And
there were
that's
more
what
stories than I
that is
thought.
that is literally what confused me, because I accidentally wrote the same story down twice. So because I was looking, I was like, what's that? But anyways, with that being said, we got an official word from our sponsor here at NHP. We got a word from W Energy, man. W is an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics formulated to improve focus without getting the jitters, man. W is a clean formula that is sugar-free, zero-calorie, free from fillers and artificial colorings with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. You can get your W products today with the link below and code NHP at checkout to save yourselves 10% on your next W purchase.
Really, always gotta shout out Dovey. Whether workout, whatever you may need the energy for, man. It's the new year. If you want it to be a new you, if you want to have new energy, new focus, try Dovey, man. It will never let you down. It'll give you the focus. It'll give you the energy. You won't have the jitters, and it'll taste good. All Julio.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And as always, shout out and thank you to the great people over at W, the official sponsor of what we do here at NHP, man. So, WWE. WWE. Oh, brother. Let's go over this call-up situation. So, starting off, we have Obafemi. So, according to Uncle Dave, WWE reportedly believe that Obafemi is going to be the biggest major player. That is the quote they use. The biggest major player for the company. Ahead of both Trick Williams and Javon Evans when it comes to recent NXT call-ups. They see Femi as a top guy that the company can build around. With that being said, Oba is currently expected to be brought to the Raw roster. He is expected to debut near the top of the card. There is said to be creative pushes for him to be featured prominently at WrestleMania. Before we get to the other names that were mentioned, how do you feel about, well, to tackle the first part of this, how do you feel about Obafemi, them looking at Obafemi as the... Alright, go.
To be just like one of the best up and coming, notable names, man. He has just the next big villain, next big final ball, and I think they make it, and it glad that them two have that mentality and goals when it comes to him. So I'm very glad, and very shocked. I mean, we'll get to that next, but on to the other part of seeing the other people from NXT. Respectfully, that major player in NXT for when he was in there, and I think he was, no matter what, who he was coming up with, he was gonna be the major player, coming out of NXT up to.
Okay, guys. I apologize for that. That was something that was self-inflicted. That was self-inflicted. That was not I did that because I don't know. It was just not running as smoothly as I liked. But all right. Okay. Getting back to where we were Getting back to where we were. So, to tackle the first part of it, if you will please start again, just because I don't know how much they heard. But how do you feel about WWE looking at Obafemi as the biggest major player and wanting to build the company around him? And do you are you calling their bluff here?
And the bluff part is hard, man, because from everything we've heard, like this, for example, they really do seem to like Obafemi, and I think with Obafemi, they are gonna try. I don't know if they're always gonna be smart enough to make the right plays, but I think they're gonna have the right intentions with Oba, and I think that's good. Um, and I think that's good, and that's obvious that he was the biggest player coming out of NXT. So I think it's very good. I think it's very obvious, and I think it could be very exciting if they play their cards right. And I think they're gonna try to.
I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so, man, because I think he's great. I think he's great, man. And also, too, how did you feel about how do you feel about the whole Monday Night Raw thing? How did you feel about that? Is that somewhere you seen him going, or did you more see him as a SmackDown guy?
I would have seen him at least in the current state on SmackDown. Maybe overall, I might be able to see him as a Raw guy in the long run. But for right now, Raw is so fucking overpacked with stars, and SmackDown is so low packed. I really don't get the mentality of putting him on a Raw, and especially with some of the people on Raw. d- I don't want to see Obafemi versus Division. I don't want to see Obafemi versus um just some of that roster they got on Raw. I think it was more exciting and more promising on SmackDown. The Raw is really where I question, what they're doing over here and who could he face at WrestleMania over on Raw. I mean, not like it truly matters at the end of the day. They don't really care about the brand split, but like overall, his feud would be happening on Raw. So I'm very curious to see who it would be against. The Raw part confuses me.
100%, man. 100%. See, for me, man, in terms of them seeing Oba as the biggest major player and seeing him as somebody you can build a company around, I think is valid. Um, I think is valid. Is Triple H going to fully execute that to the highest of his potential in the way 2018 Triple H would see somebody's potential? I don't know. That is something that, you know, Triple H has been very spotty with a lot of guys that he does like. So I hope, you know, Oba is somebody that they can actually use because, yeah, he does have that potential as the, next Roman Reigns level villain to this company, man. I think he does. I really do. And I don't blame them for seeing him that way. In terms of them putting him on Monday Night Raw and, him being featured prominently at WrestleMania, I obviously doubt he goes for a world title. In terms of maybe an intercontinental championship, I don't know if Oba Femi versus Dom is something they wanted to do, but that completely depends on even if, they bring him up as a baby face or a heel. Um, Maybe he finishes out his little story with Javon Evans and that culminates at WrestleMania. I'm not too sure. Raw, Raw, man, Raw shocks me. Raw does shock me. I really thought he would end up going over to SmackDown, obviously, because of the stuff with Cody. You do have a babyface champion and somebody like Carmelo Hayes over there, who Oba could have went up against, and I think that could have been good. Uh, you got guys, excuse me, you got guys, baby faces like Sami Zayn or like Ilya Dragunov that Obafemi could have faced. On Monday Night Raw, you got a lot of monsters. You got the Bronze. You got, Braun and Bronson. Gunther is on Monday Night Raw. It's definitely going to be very tricky as to how exactly they end up using Obafemi on the main roster, especially on the Raw brand. On SmackDown, yes, you do have guys like Jacob Fatu. Fatu's really the only one that they really go out of their way to protect on SmackDown, though. I mean, it's not like they're fucking protecting Drew McIntyre at all. So I thought Raw was definitely the more odd choice of brand for Oba. Now I watch more of Monday Night Raw, so I'm happy I'm gonna get to see him. But in terms of booking, Triple H is no stranger to not knowing what the fuck he's doing. So I genuinely don't know if they're just calling him up to A, keep him away from Cody, and B, just for the fuck of it, because they know a lot of people like him. So that is one thing that does scare me about Obafemi, and I truly have no idea what this guy could possibly be doing at WrestleMania, for me
No clue.
personally. But for some reason, two names that were brought up in this were, they look at Oba ahead of Trick and Javon. And apparently, according to Uncle Dave, WWE views Javon Evans as a star, but not a franchise player. What do you make of all this? I know you're very high on Javon Evans, man. How does this, does this ensure you that your guy is going to be treated right by Paul and his main roster buddies?
Concerning, man. It's concerning. I feel like to them it might be like a size thing. Genuinely enough, knowing WWE, I wouldn't doubt if that's like their big mentality with Javon Evans. Um, I think he's the perfect counter to Oba and the perfect like yin and yang to Oba is you got the tough final boss and you got your David and Goliath right there. You have your next David right there staring at you. He seems like a very genuine guy. He seems like a very likable guy to where, some people they're very good, but they're not very good, as baby faces and, getting connected with the crowd and whatnot. He seems like he would not have that problem at all from everything I've seen. I think you really have a giant next baby face in him. I think you have your yin to your yang with Oba and Javon. And I really wish they would put that stock into Javon. I really hope so because I really think you have your next, you know, your next David, your next in a few years. I wouldn't say he's that skilled as of now or anything, but you have your next Daniel Bryan s guy in the company, and I really hope they see it that way, and I think that they will. I just think to them that it might be like a size thing and just an age thing for them because WWE, you have to be it's like being a president, man. You have to be at least 35 to fucking win a title. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I really think it's like a age thing, maybe a size thing, maybe more of an age thing more than anything. But it concerns me. But I feel like it might just be an age thing because they're so weird and lame with that. Um, but I really hope they lock in with this man.
So the vibe, first of all, this does not shock me at all. It does not shock me. This is the way of WWE's game. Unfortunately, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And people used to always call WWE out for being the land of the giants. And unfortunately, I don't think that that is necessarily going to changed too much. It's changed a lot, but I guess not enough for Javon Evans. So Javon gives me vibes of Daniel Bryan. He gives me vibes of like Logan mentions the name Kofi. But you know, I feel like WWE is going to look at Javon, which first of all, Javon means so much to WWE. They fucking debuted him, or had him sign his Raw contract on commercial. So that's the first concern. The second concern with Javon Evans is I feel like they're going to think of him as just a spot monkey guy that, is somebody that, you know, whenever WWE, wants to do something fun, they're just going to have Javon Evans do a spot that's going to, get them viral clicks. Or I feel like he's going to be, one of those kind of guys for WWE, or at least that's
Highlight
going to
reel.
yes, the Ricochet. They used to call him the human highlight reel, and I feel like he's gonna be one of those guys. Um, Logan says, "I said he feels like a guy that will have multiple mid card titles run with one lucky world title." I could absolutely see that. So like, you look at like guys. Javon to me gives me the vibe of like maybe like a Randy Orton or like a Daniel Bryan or like a Seth Rollins. So, and what I mean by that is, yeah, he's great and he's Daniel Bryan, but WWE always has their John Cena. Or yeah, he's a Seth Rollins, but WWE always has their Roman Reigns. You know what I mean? He's going to be one of those guys where WWE, he's going to be a B plus player to WWE. He's always going to be a B plus player. He's never, going to be that top guy that, maybe he should be seen as. I feel that is what WWE is going to make Javon Evans. Which sucks because he is great, but I feel WWE is going to put a glass ceiling over him
I think they
eventually.
are. And I think what you said with the whole like using them for spots and whatnot, when WWE always has that problem, and I think they're gonna do it with Javon, like you said, is he's just gonna be the big high flyer we have. Oh, make sure he's in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Always
Yep.
make sure he's doing this big crazy spot when like. I feel like if you like had him more slow down on that and use it when it's special, he'll come off even more special. But WWE, they're too stupid to realize that. And when they see you do something that is all you are to them,
Yes.
i.e., Jey Uso, and examples like that, and I think they're gonna do that with Javon. He's gonna be the next big spot guy that they're gonna rely on. The Kofi comparison, I think, is very good from Logan. And
I
that
think,
is
yeah.
kind of spot on to see how they're gonna see him. Like, oh, he's great in the ring. We have Oh, we need the crazy Royal Rumble spot. Oh, Javon's our guy.
Look at like Io.
And I think that's gonna get
Like Triple H is no
exactly like
stranger to doing it. She does the same fucking spot in War Games every year.
exactly. They find something that works, and you're just gonna do that. And I think, like Logan said, he'll be lucky with that one world title run where whoever he's facing is gonna push the company to put the title on him, like Brian did with fucking Kofi.
Yes.
Quite literally, exactly. And I think that's what's gonna happen overall. When I think like you said, they're going to put a glass ceiling on him when I think he could even rise against that glass ceiling. But I think they're still going to put that ceiling on him because they, they, WWE, whether it's Triple H, whether it's Vince, they move with the groove. If they find a groove for you, you're going to stay in that groove overall. And it's going to take someone else advocating for you to be out of that groove.
Yeah, and I think what WWE is going to do, we mentioned the whole like size thing, and I really think what they're going to end up doing with Javon Evans here is, again, it may be his time. He might be the perfect baby face in the perfect situation, and it might be his time to shine. And it might be his time to, maybe take over that top baby face spot in the company. But WWE is going to deny it, and what they'll do is just make one of their favorites a baby face.
Yep.
Instead of giving
Hmm.
it to a guy like Javon, they'll say, well, look at Braun Breaker. I think it's time for him to be a baby face. So let's put him in that spot. Guys like that, I
Yeah.
think they will continue. Like I said, for every you know, Randy Orton, WWE's got their John Cena. For every Seth Rollins, WWE's got their Roman Reigns. You know what I mean? And I think for every Javon Evans, WWE's going to have that guy that they, that they'll never, they'll never look, they'll never let Javon Evans, look over that guy, so whoever that may be. But, just the feeling I'm getting, man. I feel like they are going to put a imaginary glass ceiling over the guy's head. But that is the news on Obafemi being called up and Javon Evans being looked at as a star, but not the franchise. So,
Stupid, man. Oh, this company is so dumb. But I see all exactly this.
yeah, Kofi, I'll say Logan, that was
That's
that was
perfect.
good. That was
That's
I didn't even think of Kofi, man, but I thought more of Daniel Bryan, but Kofi is a fucking spot on comparison. I feel for how they're gonna look at him.
100%. I think that's perfect.
Let's talk more call ups because WWE, I don't know what they got going on. So first off, according to WWE, Jordan Grace has officially been called up to the main roster.
Where? Like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah,
No,
literally. Thanks.
no.
This is very descriptive. If I were to have a guess, you need and
You need,
app need to put this woman on SmackDown.
you need to. I saw people talk about like, oh, all people want all these call ups to go to SmackDown, man. That you're, yes, because SmackDown needs everybody, women, men. They need them all. Raw has too much star power for both
Yes.
their men and their women. You're telling me, respectfully, Jordan Grit is gonna mean something on the same roster as Bailey, Lyra, Becky, AJ,
Rhea,
Rhea,
Io,
Io,
Asuka,
um,
Kyrie.
Oscar. Like, I'm sorry, respectfully, Raw is way star power in both mid card and main women's divisions. She is not going to survive over there with
No.
all those women, dude. She is just not. SmackDown needs her, bro. They have Jade Cargill as their women's world champion. They have Julia. Apparently, she got no pop even in Germany, even in a European
Fuck.
crowd. Apparently, she got no pop, bro. They need her over there. And that is one of the worst call up segments where they had Ava just say she got called up. Thanks. Thank you for that information. Thank you for the send off.
Yeah,
What?
for real. So, Jordan Grace is called up, and with that, WWE has also reportedly discussed calling JC Jane up to the main roster. NXT higher ups believe that she's risen to the occasion in 2025. She also
You know
reportedly
what?
left a good impression following her SmackDown debut in 2022. According
Remembers that? This
uh,
ain't even the same regime in 2020.
holy shit. According to the report, there has been semi-regular discussions around calling her up to the main roster since August of 2022 on the Blue brand. Isn't she still the NXT Women's Champion? Not that that matters, but isn't she
No,
still the
she is.
NXT Women's Champion?
She is. And I don't know what Triple H's obsession with calling up NH champs is. He fucking loves doing that, whether men or women, and it's fucking annoying. But actually, you know what? She did actually impress me with Evolution. I'll say I did not think she would be that good. Not saying she's great, but it's one of those
What
things
did
where
she do on
I
there again?
expected a lot worse. She was in that one. They had the NXT title match. Who did she face again? I was just reading it yesterday to just read the
Was it
Evolution
Jordan
card
Grace?
for it might have been Jordan Grace. And I remember we were shocked with how like not bad she was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
And
she ain't
I
bad at
think she
all.
might be. She's not bad at all. I think she might be a solid like high mid carder for them, and I actually mean that in a good way. I actually shockingly like her. I remember back when it was Toxic Attraction. She was genuinely to me just a lackey to Mandy, and I thought that's what she was gonna be. And she shocked the hell out of me. So I like her, and I'm glad she's looking to be called up soon. But just like the whole 2022 part is hilarious because I don't remember an ounce of any of that.
So
And I'm
I
sure the writers don't either.
I remember they did slightly put her and Gigi Dolan in like tag team stuff in 2022.
Oh,
Um, but man, first of all, well, with the other names we're going to read off, I think this is just a bit excessive to think about calling JC Jane up. I know she's a super senior
no,
as well down
100%.
there, but again, she's not bad, but like, you can't take the
She's
whole
not that
roster
important.
from NXT. You can't.
No,
Or they're going to
they're about
have.
to have nobody.
So it gets worse. So, according to Body Slam, Lola Vice has also been discussed for a potential call up to the main
Oh,
roster, likely to SmackDown.
dog, you gotta season them up in NXT. Like I like Lola. I actually really do. I think her, what's her name? Jada Parker. I think they're all really good, but let them do something in NXT
Yeah.
and yeah, what Triple H doesn't realize is you have to let new call-ups establish themselves as just a part of the main roster in order to bring more people up. And he doesn't really do that. He's kind of stupid. He kind of just brings a bunch of people up and they kind of just get, and at that point, they have to just float around in obscurity until they find a groove. So you have to let a certain amount of calls through, and then you could call up more people. Triple Dummy really doesn't understand that call ups apparently somehow. For someone who would get pissed at the way Vince would treat his call ups, he is not good at calling people up at all.
No.
Um, and that's just weird to see. I like Lola. She's also very good actually, but just you have to wait. You have to be strategic with this. You can't just dump all the fucking playing cards out on the table and expect to play fucking cards right then and there. You gotta organize this shit.
Yes, and that is and that's one of the biggest things I think we're kind of losing grasp on here is you cannot call all these women up at or around the same time from each other. Four women being called up at the same time is a recipe for disaster. Nobody is going to get the time to actually show who they are because there's going to be other call-ups around and it's going to take the spotlight from them. It's just no good. It's not going to do any good, and it makes no sense as to why you would do the all four women the disservice. And the last name, I'll get to the last name um on this whole thing so I can really discuss this. But according to Fightful, WWE reportedly discussed calling Blake Monroe up to the main roster. Is believed backstage she will end up on the Raw roster should she leave NXT.
I think from everything I've seen with her call up, I think they changed plans and now want to call her up early. I think that whole Thea stuff screwed them over, kinda. I think that kind of set in motion her early call up. It's also one of those things where it's so early, it begs the question, why was she in NXT in the first place at this point? You kind of just wasted time. I
Right.
think she would have been one of those people that might have been better off skipping NXT and going straight to the main roster. Um, I think you kind of wasted time with that in the long run. Um, I actually, even though Raw has a lot of star power, I think she, if you use her right, has a better chance of standing 10 toes down at star power if you use her. Um, and I think her mixing it up with those Raw women kind of does intrigue me more than these other women would have had getting called up to other shows. Blake is one of those ones where she automatically was one of the, more skilled ones on the mic in the ring. It was really just WWE just not nailing her overall character. Um, and I think if they do that, I actually would really like to see her like mix it up, Becky, Lyra, Lyra, um, Rhea, Io, Bailey, all them women. I actually would really like fucking Blake to mix it up with them, and I think she really could.
100%, man. But see, here's the problem if you call Blake Monroe up. Imagine you call her up and you call fucking JC Jane up on the same brand as Blake Monroe. Who is getting overshadowed? It ain't Blake Monroe.
Yeah,
You are setting
exactly.
anybody up for failure. And JC go or Blake going to Raw, if that was the case or if that was once discussed, you are gonna maybe have her go for the women's world championship. Probably not even that. Like, what exact? This is why you call people up after Mania. Why are you calling so many people up going into Mania? The night after Mania is supposed to be a reset, and I feel like we've lost that. I feel like we've lost that because Triple H can't help but fucking can't help but blow his fucking load, 3 months before Mania, and then by the time we get to the Raw after Mania, he's got no fucking surprises when NXT call-ups are the easiest thing to do after Mania. That is a good surprise.
Like, dude, you're building to WrestleMania. It's obvious you're building towards AJ and Becky. It's obvious you're building towards, the Rio, tag run into that show. It's obvious you're building all this stuff. Why are you putting people into these equations that are just gonna have to float around because with WrestleMania is basically the path is already set. Why do you
Yes.
not wait till after Mania, you moron?
Like, dude, the night after Mania is supposed to be used as a reset. At least that's how Vince looked at it. And this motherfucker doesn't. He does. I mean, he doesn't. He doesn't know how to call people up from a fucking hole in the wall. Apparently. I mean, what the fuck is this guy doing, man? Is this guy an idiot or something? I mean, what the fuck are you doing, Paul? I mean, come on, man. And again, and this is why 9 times out of 10, these nights after WrestleMania suck. Because you got no fucking surprises, or he does the half call up thing where he'll have people appear the whole time building up to Mania. And then the night after Mania, he'll be like, oh, they're officially called up. You're like, yeah, motherfucker, this guy or girl's been on the main roster for the past 3 months. What do you mean now they're called up? The fuck are you, an idiot or something, Paul? I mean, get your head out of your fucking ass. I mean, what is this guy thinking? But I mean,
Literally, and
it's
hmm
his whole philosophy on calling people up, dare I say, is even fucking stupider than fucking Vince. Vince actually did it right.
He did. He got the debut itself right. He just fucked up booking him
Oh yeah.
afterwards. Triple H, he just don't know what the fuck to do at all. He just like, why are you calling Mania people up during Mania season? Everything's set in place. They're just gonna float around doing nothing. You set up WrestleMania. Yeah, obviously the big payoff, WrestleMania, and then you insert these new people to mix it up, to mix up the storylines after
Yes.
WrestleMania and mix up the rosters after WrestleMania, you dumb bald fuck. What are you doing?
I don't know, man, but I don't know what the idea is behind wanting to call all these women up right now, man. But dude, you gotta pump the brakes because half of them, possibly even 3/4 of them, are gonna get lost in the shuffle. The only one that stands a chance out of this fucking group, if you were to all call them up at the same time, is Blake Monroe. That's it.
Yep, that's because she's just that good and that good story wise and character wise. Where if you let her, she will swim. She will swim. But also, her swimming involves a lot of brutality that WWE doesn't always get right. And that's what still scares me for her is that they're not gonna let her be brutal enough. In matches and just in character and in bloodshed, obviously that was one the standout things in AEW, which I still have that fear for in WWE because they're just too much cowards to really do that type of shit.
Well, I don't know what you mean, man. She's probably gonna get to compete in a women's War Games match.
Oh
Those,
man, she's gonna fucking hit a move like she
she's
could
gonna
do
get
in
to
a
use a
normal
fucking
ring.
kendo stick, dude. It's gonna get really brutal in there.
Oh,
Um,
oh man.
yeah, that's a huge concern for Blake. I thought in AEW one of the things that made her stand out was she wasn't afraid to bleed. She wasn't afraid to really get in there, and fucking and really you know
Oh,
really get in there, and that is one thing I just don't envision WWE, letting her do is really getting in there. I have a feeling, she's just gonna be she's gonna be very soft about they're gonna be very soft about the way they use her, man. But I don't know. That's something that remains to be seen. But that is all the call up news, I believe. Yeah, that is all the call up news we have here today. As we actually do have some bit of news on NXT related stuff. As per Fightful, New Japan star, I use that term loosely, David Finlay ha- has reportedly
sorry.
been discussed as as a. You did not have to laugh that hard at this guy, man.
I'm so sorry. Dude, genuinely, I hope when he comes to NXT, I hope he's a fucking beast, and I hope I get proven wrong because I treat that man too horribly.
Oh, you be dogging on this. I mean, you got me feeling sorry for this guy half the time, man. Somebody check on David Finlay, bro. David Finlay has reportedly been discussed as a possible signing for WWE, although although negotiations haven't happened yet between the two sides. He has been discussed within the WWE, particularly bringing him into NXT.
It's pretty. He's not really the straight to main roster type of guy.
Fuck
And
no.
man, we we lost Javon Evans, we lost me, but you know who we're gonna get? We're gonna get David Finlay, man. I actually am excited for him to go over there because I'm interested to actually see him. Maybe he just has a problem stand out enough to be in New Japan because you really have to stand out to be something
Oh
over
yeah.
there. Like look at all the elite. They were so stand out that they they were the thing over there in New Japan because they just stood out that much. Maybe that's just his problem. And maybe he'll actually see it in NXT, and I really hope I get proven wrong, man, because I just feel like an asshole, but I can't help but laugh, dude. I can't.
Maybe he will do better in a much smaller pond. I get what you're saying because clearly
Yeah.
the roads of New Japan have not been very kind to him. But again, like you said, you're not wrong. It does take a lot. You do have to stand out a lot more to be something in New Japan. Look at half the guys that we see coming over from New Japan. That are really good, at least they are the likes of fucking Will Ospreay. They're the likes of Switchblade Jay White, Kenny Omega, Kazuchika Okada, the Young Bucks. Um, those are those kind of guys that come over from New Japan. And I also too think they probably gave him way more food than he was capable to chew. I mean, to be honest, they gave this fucking guy the Bullet Club. Prince Devitt's, AJ
Shoulder.
Styles, Kenny Omega's, Switchblades Bullet Club. They gave him that group. You know what I mean? So maybe in NXT and maybe in a very smaller pond than Bullet Club, maybe he will be able to, swim a little bit because the run in New Japan has been, downright laughable to say the very least. But I don't know, man. Maybe it'll work out for David Finlay, but we'll see. He's also not very,
Hopefully,
at
man.
least from what I've seen in the ring, he's not really very impressive at all. So,
No, exactly. So he should fit right in with WWE then. Um, and I think he was just getting outpaced over there. And like you said, they put the weight of the Bullet Club on his shoulders.
Yeah.
And to his defense, he had nobody else to be in that group with him. You know
Yep.
what I mean? All the OGs were basically gone. Oh my God, you have Carl Anderson and fucking and Gallows. Their careers are gone in terms of relativity. He had no help either.
Yeah. Speaking of somebody else who we thought was coming into WWE, um, I mean he still is, but there's a odd twist to this now. Chris Jericho. Uh,
Well, maybe Jericho's the exile on Payne Street. You know,
maybe he is. Maybe Tony Khan's gonna.
if that
Maybe Tony
happens,
Khan scooped him back up, man.
fucking Tony Khan $1 billion.
Chris Jericho is reportedly very interested in a TNA run. The fuck is this here so far with news? What is this? So, according to Andrew Baydala on the Final Bell, Chris Jericho has already agreed to a WWE return. There's a lot of smoke around this from what I was gathering from the people who were calling and texting me. From people who would know, Jericho is very interested in working TNA.
And, you know, I get the Jericho mentality. Jericho always had, help out the younger guys, work with them mentality. And I get and I respect what he wants probably try to do over there. But Jericho, TNA is doomed. The clock is ticking. They're gonna get bought or they're gonna get bled dry and dropped WWE by 2028. Your work, it ain't gonna mean nothing, dog. It ain't gonna mean nothing. They're doomed anyway. Just have one last hoorah in fucking WWE and call it a day, my man. I get what he probably wants to try to do, but it's worthless in TNA.
I was gonna say, dude, you're better off just helping the motherfuckers in NXT. I mean, you're going to TNA
You
for
really
what?
are.
You're going to TNA for what? Unless he's trying to fucking final boss the TNA scene like they had him do with Ring of Honor. They put the fucking world title on him for some reason. But I mean, again, you're going down to TNA. Just stiff it out in WWE, dude. Just do one last run in WWE. No, nobody cares to see you go to TNA, man. Let them be. I mean, they have already dealt with enough WWE crossover. So I just stay in WWE, bro.
Please, please, bro. It's not worth it. That time clock is ticking for them.
Maybe he can help out Jay Uso when they form Y2 Yeet.
At this point, dude, genuinely, I want to see that. It's so bad. I want to see it.
Well, it's not that bad, dude. Did you hear what CM Punk had to say? Jay Uso is a
Like,
phenomenal in-ring performer.
CM Punk, man, he's a funny guy. You know what I mean? The more time goes on, the more of a funny guy you realize CM Punk is, man. And man, sometimes whether it's Seth, you kind of just want people to not do interviews at this point.
He's phenomenal, dude.
It's kind of better if they just shut up for once.
Oh, he says he's phenomenal, man.
Phenomenal.
So, Logan Paul. Actually, no. We actually have news on CM Punk. According to PW Insider, despite rumors, CM Punk has not been placed into concussion protocol following his match with Braun Breaker on Raw. This sparked after CM Punk went for a suicide dive and completely just fucking diving headbutted the ground. Everybody thought he was going to be in concussion protocol, and he is not. He looks to be okay, and that is a good thing, because the last thing we need is CM Punk getting injured on this fucking show.
Exactly, man. Exactly. That's good news to hear. I'm glad he's not injured, and I'm very glad. It's good news to hear.
It is. Also, according to Uncle Dave, Braun Breaker has also been cleared by WWE's medical team following a nasty landing during a top rope Frankensteiner on last Monday's Monday Night Raw. So it looks like Braun, who everybody also thought was hurt, Braun is okay as well, man. So nothing but good news coming out of this match, and everybody's okay, and everybody made it back from the upside down. So I'm very glad that they got out of that match injury free, because there was a lot of very scary looking spots involved with this match.
Exactly. They made it from the upside down. They made it from inside of Triple H's empty head. So glad they all made it out safe. And dude, I'm glad no one's hurt.
100%. Now, speaking of Logan Paul has revealed that he signed a new long-term, full-time contract with WWE. He says, I actually just signed my official long-term contract with WWE seconds ago. WWE took espresso shots. I'm officially a full-timer now. I have no idea. All you people saying I'm a part-timer can shut your mouths.
I swear there's him signing a contract every fucking 2 months. I swear there's always contract news for or he's always talking about now he's a full-time guy.
He
I just signed a full.
I haven't heard anything about a contract, but he does always say that.
Like, bro, just stop the cap. At this point, it's better for your character if you embrace your part-timeness and showboat it up, because you just look like a dork. I guess he's full-time. I don't think we've seen interact with fucking Austin. He hasn't interacted and been on TV since Austin Theory debuted or returned. So I don't really know what he's talking about.
He was on last week.
We'll get there.
With the Stranger Things. Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't even remember seeing him. I watched that episode. Where was he? Was he just standing next to him?
Yeah, he came out for that whole brawl, and then too, I think he only missed 1 week, and I think it was that episode before New Year's.
Oh my god, I totally forgot he was standing there.
Yeah.
So I guess he was standing there. I totally forgot that. But yeah, he's full time, man.
So he I guess he is gonna be, full-fledged with the Vision now, and that is a fucking Andrade to the Don Callis family move that as I've ever seen. But this could turn out to be a really good thing. This could turn out to be a really bad thing. It's either gonna go one way or the other. Either he's gonna be around way too much, or he is
Never going to be around.
Yeah, or he is going to be he's either going to be around way too much, or it's going to maybe have people look at him a little better, maybe, depending on where they go with his character and whatnot. It all depends on how Triple H really goes about him. If history has shown us anything with him being in the Vision as thus far, it's probably not going to be a good thing. But I mean, we'll just have to kind of wait and see on how Triple H goes about booking him in a full-time capacity. So
Yeah.
it definitely should be interesting, man, but hopefully everything goes well and maybe, he actually turns out to be a good heel on the main roster. I'm interested to see what the whole crux of his character is going to be now because the whole thing was, Logan was an attraction, but every time he would come back, he would talk about like part timers and stuff, even though he was a part timer. It's kind of like the whole point of his gimmick. Was he pretty much hates all the people that do what he does, I guess. I'm interested to see how they go about booking him on a full-time basis now. This, like I said, it's either going to go really good or it's going to go really fucking bad, which knowing Triple H is probably going to go really fucking bad. So we will have to wait and see how everything pans out, but yeah, Logan is a full-time guy now. So
See.
Tiffany Stratton, according to the Wrestling Observer, Tiffany Stratton is currently dealing with an injury, as they did not state what exactly the injury was, but she is injured. I don't know if it's really like an injury or if it's like she dropped the championship and is now taking care of just some things she wanted to take care of, which, whatever the case is, I wish her a speedy recovery and I hope that she could come back maybe in time for the Royal Rumble.
Exactly. Hope she could be in time for the Royal Rumble. And like you said, I could see it just healing up everything after the title run.
Speaking of injuries, according to Uncle Dave as well, Elton Prince is currently out of action with a significant neck injury. Oof.
That sucks, man. That sucks. I really hope the best. Wish the best for him, and I really hope he could take his time to deal with that, man. I hope everything works out.
100%, man. I really hope I really hope everything ends up being okay with Elton Prince and we can get Pretty Deadly back whenever the case may be. And yeah, obviously your neck is something you do not want to mess around with, so hopefully everything gets settled with that. Um so yeah, hopefully everything ends up being okay with that. It seems like they're still going to keep Kit Wilson around and they're still going to use him as like a jobber on SmackDown. So that it's good that they're not keeping him off of television as well.
Yeah,
They actually have decided they want to use the guy. So um yeah, so that is the news on
most
Elton
definitely.
Prince. And Tiffany Stratton's injuries. With that, we got news on Cody and Drew. According to Bodyslam.net, there is a push backstage in WWE to have Drew McIntyre defeat Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship on SmackDown. They have their 3 stages of fucking Charmin match tonight on SmackDown. Do you envision the powers that be backstage in WWE wanting Drew McIntyre to be the one to beat Cody Rhodes on SmackDown tonight and take home the title?
This company got no balls. Triple H ain't got no balls. They ain't doing this shit. And if they do this shit, it's a lose-lose situation. Either he's gonna be champion for a little bit and I'm gonna feel nothing, or he's gonna lose and I'm gonna feel nothing. They're absolutely doomed when it comes to Drew McIntyre, and they're too stupid and too scary to figure this shit out.
Man, WWE, yeah, they ain't having Drew McIntyre win no WWE championship. I mean, bro, let's be honest. Drew McIntyre, this tonight is probably the final straw that's going to break the camel's back for Drew in the main event scene. He's going to go on to do, lower, non-title main event scene stuff. But at the end of the day, man, I really think today's it for him. I really do. I think today's it for him. And he is more than likely cooked after today. And I mean, it's at least to me, man, it's very obvious they're going to run the whole Jacob Fatu interference. And I mean, and again, I said this during Survivor Series, man, but even if Drew McIntyre wins this championship, Cody is walking into WrestleMania as champion. So if anything, you can also be mad if Drew McIntyre wins as well, because that means they're just stat padding Cody at this point. He's just going to win it back at Rumble or at the Saturday night's main event before Rumble or Chamber or whenever the case is. He's just going to fucking win the thing back before WrestleMania anyways. So what really would be the point in giving Drew McIntyre? We've said this again during the whole Survivor Series build. Drew and Cody is nothing but a fucking lose-lose scenario for Drew McIntyre. There's no route we go where he looks good. None.
No, there's no route. You are literally doomed whether he wins or loses with Drew McIntyre. You completely doomed his current main roster run. Your only hope is a complete reset. Take him off television for a period of time. I said, they could probably make a fucking season of Unreal about it. Could do a whole walkout storyline or something. You need something where he is gone or going to leave in order to mean something.
Yep. So, that is that for the backstage news of SmackDown tonight. And then for our final story today on episode 300, Tommaso Ciampa. According to Body Slam, Tommaso Ciampa's WWE contract is coming up. He plans to finish up his time with WWE without a contract renewal. It is unclear if Ciampa chose not to sign a new deal and is planning on going elsewhere, or is wanting to take some time off without a deal. Well, man, it seems the run of Tommaso Ciampa in WWE has reached its fairy tale ending. As, in my opinion, the greatest NXT champion of all time looks to be done. Are you shocked by this? Does this make you sad, man? What are you feeling?
Weird, because I'm not shocked reasoning wise, but I'm shocked that it actually happened wise. It's one of those things where it's like, damn, Tommaso Ciampa is just leaving. It sucks, dude. It sucks. I did love seeing all the people come out in reaction to this and praising the man for that NXT run and for that heel run, man. I was very glad and very shocked, to be honest, to see all that praise. That era of NXT doesn't always actually get the acknowledgement it deserves, and people like Ciampa always don't, but he did from a lot of people, and I was very happy to see that, man. And he's great, dude. He's great. His heel work was insane. He's phenomenal in the ring. He got the look and he had the character, man. And really hope he can capture that wherever he goes after this, man. And it sucks, man. It sucks. But we were just talking about it, how much we miss that black heart shirt. And this might be our chance to re-up on it, man. So there's light in the dark, and I hope he does see the light with this, man. I hope he gets it, because he deserves it.
Bro, I was actually thinking the same thing. I was like, wow, dude, he's probably going to open his PWT store again. And they will probably sell the Blackheart shirt. So, if that's the case, I'm stoked for that. That is such an instant cop. But, I remember seeing all those tweets, and a lot of time, like, a lot of wrestling fans, like, they almost look at it as like a bad thing, as if somebody was like big in the black and gold era. A lot of people will be like, you know, a lot of fans a lot of fans do appreciate it, but a lot of fans you'll get the oh, he was only, he was only really good in NXT though. Almost like it's a bad thing, I feel. Um and this past Saturday, I opened Twitter and I'm seeing all these, I'm seeing all these Ciampa appreciation posts, and I'm like, the fuck, like, this is random. Like, what, like, I mean, obviously, like, Ciampa's my guy. I think he's the greatest NXT champion of all time, but like, what the fuck, like, it was just random. Like, why? And then I did more digging and I see this and I'm just like, whoa, like, wow. Tommaso Ciampa is leaving the company, and like it says, like it says here, it doesn't necessarily say he's going to, go somewhere else exactly, or if he's just gonna, take time off, take time to be a dad or a husband or whatever the case is, whatever he wants to do with his free time, you know. Um, it just, man, it really sucks. It really sucks because you know he was always a Triple H guy, and they got back DIY, and I feel like a lot of people were looking up at it. A lot of people thought
Yeah.
it was going to be a really good thing on the main roster, and he failed them. He fucking failed him, man. He failed his two NXT golden boys with Gargano and Ciampa, and it really just sucks to see because this dude, man, you place Blackheart Tommaso Ciampa in a main roster main event scene, man, and that dude is swimming. You put Rebel Heart Johnny Gargano in a main roster main event scene, and they're swimming. And Triple H never gave him the opportunity to swim. He just kept him in the tag team, and it's like, that's fine if you want to keep him in a tag team and they're going to actually do something as a tag team. That's fine. You did nothing. You did fucking nothing with him. You fucking bald-faced moron. You fucking moron. How could you not do anything with Gargano and Ciampa? Proven guys. These guys proved they can make it work in the main event scene as they did it for you in NXT. In fact, it could have been better on the main roster. You know those little glimpses of like Johnny Gargano tangling it up with Seth Rollins? Dude, that shit looked great. It looked fucking great.
Yeah. That
And
shit was insanely good, man.
you have two guys that have a world of potential, and you did nothing. Yet again, fumble after fumble after fumble by Paul. This is a catastrophic failure for me, man. And to see Ciampa leave really does suck. So thank you, Ciampa. Man, I feel like he will end up being back with the company eventually, but for now, thank you for all the memories. And man, my wrestling fandom throughout my high school years is not what it is without your work, man. So man, that thank you. And also thank you for, in my opinion, one of the greatest pieces of wrestling merchandise ever created. So really
Exactly.
sucks, but we're gonna miss Champa. And what this means for Johnny Gargano, hopefully Triple H can get his shit together and, maybe again add him as a nice piece to, these Raw and SmackDown, upper mid card, lower main event divisions, man.
Exactly. I really hope so. I really hope so. And I wish the best for everything. And it's crazy, man. It doesn't feel real that he's leaving, man. But he's gonna be missed. And wherever he is, I'll be with him. I'll be supporting.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And yeah, that is all the news we have here today for you guys, man, as that is everything we got for your episode 300 of NHP, man. Thank you guys so very much for an amazing 300 episodes. Thank you guys truly for a really unforgettable run. 300 episodes. It really is crazy. It doesn't feel that long, man, but they say time flies when you're having fun, man, and it has been nothing short of a blast. So thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for helping me grow as a man. Thank you guys for helping me grow as a creator. And truly, man, thank you guys so much. Thank you to this guy next to me, my brother Sir K, man. I really wouldn't be able to have taken this journey. If it was not for you, man, thank you. I told you this the other day, but your support and your pushings through this journey really drives me, and it really motivates me to continue to be better than I was yesterday. Even if it's just a little bit, it goes a long way. And man, thank you so much for everything. And I really appreciate the hell out of you, man. And as for you guys, man, everybody here, um, whether you guys are here today, fucking this guy, Manager Logan, I swear this guy's had to have been here since like episode 70, bro. This dude is legitimately, damn near almost been here every week, man. So we appreciate the hell out of Manager Logan. We appreciate all you guys, the live chat, the replay mafia, man. Thank you guys so very much for an unforgettable run. And the run ain't over yet, bro. So we're gonna continue to be here for 301 and so on and so forth, man. So truly, man, thank you guys so very much for just for an amazing run, and truly some of the best laughs, some of the best discussions, all the little jokes we have here, whether it's Paul or Uncle Dave. They're all a boatload of fun, man. And you guys have truly made NHP something that started as just something for us to have fun and just talk wrestling as a passion, to something that is truly like a fucking baby to me, man. So thank you guys for an amazing 300 episodes, and like I said, to many more, because we ain't stopping anytime soon. So we may be slept on, but the work does not stop, bro.
We aren't going to sleep on the work. They might sleep at us. We're not sleeping on the work, man. Thank you guys. 300 episodes and counting. Very excited for the next year, 2 years, all that, man. Very excited, especially to see what 2026 brings. Thank you, bro, for being the passion and inspiration for everything you do here, the work you put into this podcast and in your life. Truly appreciate the value of all you for this podcast, me, and everyone around you, man. Truly, thank you for that. And thank you for you guys for being here, commenting, talking. It really does feel like just a group of friends in their inside jokes talking about wrestling. With you guys in the chat, man. Like you said, the Paul jokes, the heat, all things we have that we do with you guys. Thank you for that, man. And thank you. And we hit 300. Crazy number, crazy milestone, and it's only going to continue, man. We lasted longer than WCW lasted, or than Nitro lasted, and hope we outlast everything else, man.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. So, one last time before we go, man, if you guys do want to cop the new merch to celebrate 300 episodes of NHP, thank you again so much to my guy Rico over at Stickers 13 Studios, man. Brother, I appreciate the hell out of you. Yet again, you've done it. You have brought a vision to life. Yet again, this logo is fucking beautiful, man. This is actually so fucking beautiful. I love what you did here, man. This is truly a beautiful piece of merchandise, man. We appreciate you. We appreciate everything you do for NHP, and we appreciate, of course, man, you bringing our visions to life, man. So shout out my guy Rico over at Stickers 13.
No, exactly. Thank you, bro, for all you do, all you work with us to do, and creating this insane logo for us to use.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, hey, man, the party ain't fucking over yet, because if you join us tomorrow, we got the year-end awards, the annual year-end awards, man. I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for you guys to see what we have in store for you. And I'm excited to see what you guys got in store for the year-end award winners. Remember, tonight is the last night to vote at midnight. I will calculate all the votes up, and we will get things rocking and rolling on who is going to be the winner of the fan vote for each category. I'm excited for you guys to see mine and Sir K's winner as well. So 1 p.m. Central tomorrow. So same time we were live today, we're going to be live tomorrow with the year-end awards, man. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you guys so very much for the support, man. And we're so excited to bring you guys the year-end awards for 2025. And I'm very excited to see everybody's winners and who ends up taking home some of these categories, man. We got a lot of good ones this year, as we always do. So yeah, that is everything we got here today for you guys, man. This has been an amazing episode, 300 of NHP, man. Thank you guys so very much, as it has been always a pleasure for my Johnny.
It's okay.
And that is going to do it for this edition of NHP. This has been NHP 300. Thank you guys, as always. Thank you guys. We love you guys. Thank you guys for 300 episodes. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you all tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central with the Notorious Heels 2025 Year-End Awards.
Peace.